A lot of you have asked about finding different backdrops, different resources that you can use and not have to worry about copyright. One of your best friends for that is going to be Google. So let's say you need a clip art graphic of a football. So go ahead and pull up your search screen, go to images, and then over here, and on your phone, you're going to have to look slightly below, I believe, but this is on my laptop, and you have settings and tools. So this tools, if you click it, you're going to pull up these, and it's going to go size, color, type. So you can do clip art, photo, animated, so whatever you're looking for. And then usage rights is the one that you really want to pay attention to. So what this means is right now these are not filtered by license, which means a lot of these photos may be copyrighted. If you click on this, labeled for reuse with modification, what modification means is if I click on this and it pulls up, okay, so this image is okay to use with modification. So let's pull it up, and all I have to do to modify this is put text across it. I can put text across it. It's now a modified image. It's clearly not the same image anymore. You can go to the background and you can adjust it just a little bit. You can crop some of it out so you can turn it into a circle. So if you decide, sorry, we're not succeeding here with the circle. Okay, so circle, inverse, delete. It is now a modified image, okay? So that's fine to use. So that is what that one means. To be safe, if you're not really planning on playing with it much, you have a label for reuse, a label for non-commercial reuse with modification, and labeled for non-commercial reuse. Obviously, you're using this for commercial purposes in a way. You are making personalized necklaces, but a lot of times the same designs get sold en masse, so you want to be careful about using the ones that are labeled for non-commercial. So just do labeled for reuse. And this is going to give you every free image that Google has access to. And all of these are free to use. So if you have a soccer one that you want to do, this is actually already in the circle even. So you can take this, take it over to Photoshop. Say you want to put a big number 7 across here. Type here, number 7. Let's put it in a color that you can see. Okay, so say they have multiple soccer players on the same team. So let's do a number 7 there. Let's do another layer. They have a number 13. So maybe they have 2 players. So you can put out both of their players. Maybe their school colors is a different color. Then you can go into your backdrop. You can select the blue. Make sure you select this right here too. And you can change this color right here, okay? So there's all sorts of different things you can do to this image, and this is already in a circle. It already will make a great atlas. So learn how to search for things. So if you want it red in the background, do that. If you want a red soccer ball, then you can come in here and go to deselect. You can click on the black. It's going to have it all selected. Grab your paint bucket, change that to red. So obviously you want to change the outer rim to black or something when you do that. But I mean, there's all sorts of different things you can use with these graphics. So again, that's going to be under tools, and you want to do labeled for reuse or labeled for reuse with modification. Those are the 2 safe ones you want to do. If you do choose labeled for reuse with modification, make sure you are doing some sort of modification to it. Make sure you're putting text on it, changing it in some way. Do not just use it how it is. Okay. Another person was asking about fonts. So that's a good place to find clip art and images. So say you just want clip arts, that's when you would come here, go to clip art, and then it's only going to show you the clip art images. So use Google, like, use it well. So there's a lot of different search options. You should be able to find almost anything you need in about 5 seconds or less. It's kind of like a library card catalog. Once you know how to use it, it's very helpful. So Google, once you know how to use it, is awesome for designing and doing templates. Before I get to fonts, someone had asked about backgrounds. Backgrounds, a lot of mine come from Google as well. So, sorry, let me actually spell backgrounds correctly. Let's go to images, and again, let's do the tools, and we're going to do, I always modify mine, so I'm okay with choosing this option. So here are a lot of different backgrounds we can use. So, obviously the quality on that one isn't as good. There you go, there's a better one. So that would actually make a really pretty atlas design. So if you wanted to use it, you could pull it over here. That'd be great for a quote. So make your circle. Let's get those two big flowers there in the top left corner. The little graphics around. Let's do inverse. So, and then you can put a nice little quote right here in this area. Okay. So there's just an idea. Sorry, I see things and I do them. So backgrounds, this is a great place for backgrounds too. Just make sure you choose your options. I've used this background recently for a football one. You've got this nice blue to work with. And if you want to get specific, come up here and actually put in, hey, I want a green background. And it's going to give you all sorts of green ones. This is really pretty down here. So just go through. Don't worry about changing it. And as long as it's label for reuse with modification or label for reuse, you're good. The copyright is okay to use. So this one would actually make a great square pendant. So put your quote in there and then make a square pendant out of it to put on a tightly cuff. That's what I would do with that. So in fact, let's just toss it over there for later. Okay. So another thing another resource that's great is defont.com. I talked about fonts. Okay. Copyright on fonts. There are copyrights on fonts. Do not use fonts that have not been clarified as free use. Okay, so let's say we want a college font. So that's going to give you the more bulky letters like this. Okay, so over here we have free for personal use. Again, we're not really using it for personal use. Yes, if we were just making one of these and you're only selling one, I would say that's probably fine. But you need to somehow make sure that people aren't mass producing an image that you've made. So you wouldn't want to drop it in the All About That Plunder album. Because then it has the ability to be made over and over and over again, and that's when you're going to get in trouble with copyright. So this one, it says 100% free. So this is how it's going to explain it. So the fonts presented on their websites are the author's property and are either freeware, shareware, demo versions, or public domain. So public domain means it's free for anyone to use. So free for personal use, 100% free, 100% free, 100% free here. So these are all fonts that you can download and take in, and they're going to be fine to use. This is a donation wire font, which means it typically is, as you can tell, it's going to require some sort of donation or some sort of sign up. Free for personal use. Be wary with the free for personal use. Again, if you're not sure that it's just going to be you with this font, then I wouldn't use it. In fact, there's enough free ones to be able to find. So say you wanted a monogram font. So a lot of you doing the monograms on your phones, y'all just expressed annoyance that the monogram font on the app took off this type of font. And so they have a few of them on here that you'll be able to use. Again, free for personal use. Just be sure to check the copyright over here. And I'll show you what that does. When you download a font, it's going to come, sorry, my computer is just a mess of work right now. Okay, so this is one of the fonts I did yesterday. So when I open this file, it's going to give me, well, yeah, here. It's going to give me the font right here. And so if I double click that, it's going to download this font onto my computer. And then it's going to give me this. This is the text file explaining the copyright. So this font is free for personal usage, includes caps, numbers, punctuation, international characters from these different countries. So that's going to give you a little more detail about things. So say we have another one that's opened up. Theirs is quite a bit longer, their license agreement. Oh, that's opening my Word. Great. So be sure to read through these. That'll tell you if something is actually okay to use. This one doesn't have anything, so it must be fine. And this had two different versions of the font. It had a black version and a white version. So that is an excellent website for getting fonts. It's called dafont.com, DAFONT.com. And you can download almost any of them. That's going to be on a laptop or tablet. Right now, I'll have to look up if you can actually download fonts onto a cell phone. I'm not entirely certain. I do most of my work on a laptop, but I can do a few tutorials on the phone as well using the different apps that y'all discussed there. So that's talking about different clip art elements in the fonts, and I will catch you guys later.